All this month, ABC6 is on your side, exposing the dangers of getting hooked on heroin. Tonight, Fighting Back reporter Steve Levine is in our ABC6 On Your Side Help Center, where police are taking anonymous tips to try and clean up drug neighborhoods. Steve?
Bob, all this month we are hearing a lot from viewers telling us about the drugs that have invaded their neighborhoods. So we have teamed up right here with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Detectives are now taking calls, taking tips on drug houses, illegal sales in the neighborhood. You know, the odds are good if you become addicted to drugs, you will turn to a life of crime. We talked with one former user who told us how his habit landed him behind bars.
It's everywhere. It's all around Columbus, man, no matter what side of town you go to.
This guy who we're calling Alex shares with us his story of how he got hooked on heroin.
First, when I was using pills, prescription pills, they were expensive. After a while, I couldn't support that.
So Alex turned to heroin to get a cheap high. Eventually, Alex's addiction led him to a life of crime, stealing whatever he could to get his drugs.
Where I would go in and steal stuff, yes, and take it to whoever. I would steal from family, friends. It didn't matter, you know.
Alex is not the only one stealing to keep his drug habit alive. Last year, more than 3,500 property crimes were reported in Franklin County. More than half, 2,579, were theft reports. The sheriff tells us the majority of culprits breaking into homes and cars are drug addicts looking for cash to get their next score. And the top of the list to be targeted first, friends and families of drug users.
You will be their first target for crime. You're easy and you're accessible.
So that's what they do? They turn to a life of crime to support their addiction?
Yes, pretty much. It's because it's hard to keep a job. It's hard to, to do anything. You do whatever it takes to get that next one.
Stealing to get that next hit put Alex behind bars. He served 3 years for stealing cash and drugs. It wasn't until he came to Maryhaven to be treated for his addiction that he began to turn his life around.
If I could right them wrongs, I would. If I could change some of them things, I would. But, that's just what I did.
The phones have been ringing off the hook since we opened the Fighting Back phone bank in the ABC6 On Your Side Help Center. Detectives are here taking your tips. Tell them where you are seeing drug activity in your neighborhoods. If you know of any illegal drug houses that are selling heroin, crack cocaine, other prescription painkillers, they want to know about it. We'll be here until 6:30 tonight. Live in the ABC6 On Your Side Help Center, I'm Fighting Back reporter Steve Levine, ABC6 News.
Thank you, Steve. And you can learn more about the heroin epidemic in Ohio, see more stories from our Hooked on Heroin series on abc6onyourside.com. You'll find the link there to the Hooked on Heroin section under the News tab. And our month-long series continues tomorrow with a closer look at the revolving door for drug dealers. We ask police and prosecutors why most people who are arrested don't spend much time behind bars. That's tomorrow at 5.